Alright, we got a little lesson of Ruha here with our old buddy Red.
Yeah.
Hey, Red.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How are you, man?
Doing good. I just had a delicious sub after not eating for a while, and it is a mess all over me. I was definitely barbaric in eating it, and I don't care because it was delicious and great.
That sounds like me when I eat anything.
Yes, it is very good.
I think when I finish up this lesson, if the varsity is open, and I'm sure they will be, I'm going to go there and get like a couple chili cheese dogs because I'm just craving that.
Really, I actually ate there for the first time when I was down in Atlanta. I go there occasionally on business.
Next time you're in Atlanta, if you don't call me and let me buy you a beer, I will never forgive you.
Fair enough.
So there you go. You had fair warning. If you ever want the wrath of my non-forgiveness, come to it.
Yeah, I don't know if you're around the Norcross area. That's where the location is of my
I know
my company's office there.
I don't necessarily live there, but if you're... Where do you live?
I am in Central Ohio,
Okay,
the Columbus,
well, yeah,
Ohio
so
area.
if you come to Norcross, and you fucking call me and we'll go get a beer. And we'll talk
Cool.
about StarCraft and we'll go find some boobs to stare at. Awkward silence.
All right, moving on.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, man, so, we've done this a couple times before, you know the drill. Tell us, you know, how you been, how's the ladder been treating you, and what are we going to work on today?
Unfortunately, a lot of my time has been spent in 2v2s when I hop on and my cousin's on and we roll, but I do seem to be doing a lot better in 1v1s. I think I played 4 or 5 games of 1v1 last week, and I'm taking games off of some platinum players now.
Fantastic.
And after last week when we were working on ZvZ early aggression type stuff, that came in handy in one of the matches I had today.
Awesome.
Zerg tried to come in with a whole bunch of Zerglings, and I had speed about 5 seconds before he did, which was beneficial, and then I went straight to Banelings, and I basically wiped him out before, as he was trying to transition to Mutas. I went in and just stomped him. It was really good.
That's awesome. So we've been having a little bit of success, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, after watching, I'm starting to watch like various different other Zerg streams. Yours obviously, and Idra's since he started up.
Yep.
And he, you guys both do something that I would definitely like to be able to work on and do, and that is be able to deal with, I guess, be able to have somewhat of an army, but also not slip too much on macro and droning up. It just seems like I'm watching him, and all of a sudden he's got lings that are on. They start running on the map, and then like 2 minutes later, he's 2 bases, 40 drones, and like at 100 or 120 supply or something.
Yeah.
And I just cannot. I cannot seem to get there. Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
I understand. I understand exactly where you're coming from. In every matchup, it can be very easy, especially as you're kind of developing yourself as a player, it can be very easy to get into this mindset of, I'm going to build drones, and then I'm going to build units, and I'm not going to stop building units, right?
Yeah, I can generally get back to building, saying, okay, I need to do a round of drones. I can take a step back, and I've been watching some replays, and my drone count definitely, I would say, could definitely be better, but it's not where it was when we first started, where I would get to 18 to 24 drones and then never build any for the rest of the game.
Right.
So it's definitely gotten better, but it seems like it's, I can't protect myself as well as get the drone numbers and keep my economy rolling while still having an army. It's like I'm either in one mode or the other.
I understand. I can totally relate. And the important thing to draw from that, and this goes back to stuff that we've talked about before with timings, you know. But the
Right.
one big lesson that we can talk about today, it kind of boils down to map control. What is your definition of map control?
He's in his base and I'm not in my base. Basically,
Okay.
he's afraid to move or push out, specifically because of my threat or presence. Even if not, he doesn't know that I'm not out on the map, that I'm just around or outside of like my natural. But I have a couple of lings on the towers, and he's just afraid.
Right.
I'm in the point where I would feel comfortable just moving my Zerglings across the map and being able to do other stuff for a minute
Okay.
without being scared.
That's an adequate definition in my opinion. What I'm really looking for when I have map control. When I have map control, I know that he cannot immediately come kill me. Period. All right. And when it comes down to where I am versus where he is on the map, in the case of in this example, if I have the map control, he's turtled up. He's in his natural, or his army's between his natural and his third. He's in his territory. He's not challenging me at all. I'm in control. All right. Can you kind of get with me on this? You feel like yeah, that's a fair definition?
Yeah.
All right. In these situations, and it's crucial that we learn to recognize these situations, and we can learn to say to ourselves, oh, I have map control. But in these situations, when you have map control, when he is not challenging you, when he will not push out of fear of dying, do you need a bigger army?
Well, my initial answer would be no.
Okay. Do you have
but
a...
I always...
Do you have a follow-up answer?
always, yes.
No, you're right the first time. The answer is no. You do not need a bigger army when you have map control, because you have map control. If he is giving us the map, especially if he's turtled up on like 2 bases. Now things can change a little bit when he gets to 3 base, and a lot of bit when he gets to 4. But when he's on 2 bases or less, and you have map control, you are the safest dude in the world. There's no threat of death. You're fine. You're in good shape. So if you don't need an army, what might it be prudent to make?
Well, drones.
Obviously. So
or expand. By that time possibly take my second or third.
Beautiful, 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 perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. You're doing a great job of answering these leading questions. You would be a fantastic...
We've worked on a lot of stuff before.
Exactly. So you get it. You get it. So, and this is stuff you should already know, and I feel like you do already know it, but from what you're telling me, you're not necessarily applying it well enough in game. When you have map control, you drone. That's all you need to worry about. And the second he starts to challenge you for map control, the instant he starts to say, okay, I'm going to poke out just a little bit, you respond to that with units. But until he is challenging you for the map, until he makes some gesture indicating that he wants to do something other than sit in his base, you're making drones. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
Now what about halfway in between that?
What is halfway in between?
Where there's almost like you're battling, let's say, for map control. It's early game, maybe 4 to 6 minutes in. You're playing against Terran. There's some Marines, maybe a Marauder. He's got a small ball, maybe a half a dozen units floating around. You're poking at each other, going back and forth and such.
Okay, where are these pokes happening?
I don't know, in the middle of the map.
Okay.
You don't have.
If
what my
he
point,
is in the middle of the map, do you have map control?
I would say no. I mean,
you don't. You don't.
Right, and that's where I guess that's my point, is that I get into situations where that is going on, and I start, if that goes on too long, where I'm either pocketing just a little bit of larva as I'm trying to figure out where his army just went or what he's doing. I get into a spot where I end up getting behind at that moment, because he's constantly pumping out SCVs while maybe popping out a couple of units. It's either too early, or I've already done the scouting and I know that he's not expanded or other stuff. But it's still, I just get in that moment where I end up getting behind somewhere between the 5 to 7 minute mark, because I'm scared. I'm scared to drone, and I don't necessarily know if he's pushing or not.
Okay.
And I don't have established map control. And usually as I poke around with my lings to try to figure it out, a ling gets clipped here, there, and before I know it, I'm down to like 6 or 7 instead of 10.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can work with that. We can absolutely work with that. But the big thing here, if he's floating around the map with Marines and Marauders, that's one of the things you said. If he's floating around the map like that, either A, he has map control, or B, you're about to kill everything he has and go win the game. It's one of those two, not both.
Well, generally, I've thought of the same thing, the threat of the counterattack. So I go up and counterattack. I don't necessarily have...
let's not even talk about the counterattack. Like, this is just in the context of map control, and I feel like maybe I'm harping on this point a little bit too much, but I want to say it anyway. In the context of map control, if he's floating around, pause. If you have enough units to have map control, right? If you have enough units to establish map control for yourself, and then he starts floating around the map with whatever, then you kill that whatever. You just kill it because you have enough stuff. Alright? If you engage it and you lose, then he's challenging you for map control. And that goes back to what we said previously. The second he challenges you for map control, you make units. Alright?
So I need to get into a situation where if he's out there floating and I'm going to go after map control, that I don't F it up. Meaning that I don't just say, well, I could probably kill this with 20 lings, so I'll go kill it 20 lings. Instead, make sure that I will be the winner of the match. Because if I lose, then that sets me even far behind, because now I have to replenish that whole...
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that just comes down to kind of recognizing good engagements and making good engagements, and you know, not doing stupid shit that puts you in bad situations. So it sounds like we're talking a little bit about ZvT. Is that what you want to work on today? Or would you prefer?
Well, it doesn't matter either ZvT or ZvZ. I'm still pretty comfortable with the all the different scenarios for ZvP. The only thing I really don't want to get into though is if I play some ZvZ, I don't want to get into just like speeding Baneling play all day.
Okay. Absolutely perfect. Well, I'll invite Callus to the party because he's been saying he wants to play some, and we can start with ZvZ if you want, and if you want to go to ZvT, we can. This is your time. We'll do whatever you want to do with it. Callus can play both. He's a very high level.
Yeah, I just saw him play Terran, and he's bad at it. So let's have him play Terran. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. ZvZ sounds good.
Okay. Well, we'll start. I mean, again, he was playing a master level Zerg player. To be fair.
Yes.
To be fair, Red. Let's not sell the guy short.
No, I was watching. I was just breaking the guy's balls a little bit. I can talk about him, and you can't talk back, right?
Exactly. All right. So we'll start with some ZvZ, and we don't want to spend time worrying about Lingbane, so we'll just skip that part for now.
And why do I have to download Metalopolis?
Because this is new sexy time Metalopolis. I don't know. It's Battle.net for you, man. Battle.net is Battle.net. All right. So we're gonna go ZvZ.
Why am I Terran? There we go.
So I'm just going to tell him no one base Lingbane for now.
Then I can go one base Lingbane and take a game off of him and say he got beat by Goldie.
If you want to, absolutely. But if he dies to it, then he's doing something wrong. I mean, he should know how to deal with it. So, anyways, no one base Lingbane. I'm going to let you. Is there something that you want to start with?
I've been starting to go away from Hatch first, and I want to try to get back into it.
You want to get into Hatch first? Okay.
Get back into Hatch first.
All right. I'm gonna pitch a couple possibilities your way. And we have 15 Hatch. 15 Hatch is a very viable, very legitimate, very powerful